Hi, in this video, we are going to talk about Sumifs and Vlookup in Excel. We're going to do a quick demonstration with easy to follow examples. Let's look at our sample data here. We have sample data with region and the rep, item, units, unit cost, and total, right? What we are going to do here is I'm going to show you the usage of Sumif, for example, right? So what's the difference between VLOOKUP and Sumif doesn't do the exact same thing. VLOOKUP, you can only use one category, one criteria to look up, whereas Sumif, you can actually use multiple things. You can say, give me the total where the region is central and the rep is Smith and the item is desk, but you cannot do all these and conditions in VLOOKUP. All you can say in VLOOKUP is give me the total number of units sold for region central. That's it. But in SUMIF, you can say give me the total of units sold for region central and the rep is also Smith and the item is something specific too. You can give multiple conditions and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. So for example, if we wanted to look up, right, let's take this sample data here. We want to look up what is the how much in the region central. For example, let's just start with a simple example. This is the overall, right? I want to know the total number of units sold in the region central, right? How can I do that? Basically, what is that number? That number is this number, the rows from rows 2 to rows 25, and you can also see it in the right hand corner over here. It shows the number is 1199 in this sum here, right? It shows you here, but I want this number to be automatically populated here without using pivot tables. Now, if you don't know what's pivot tables, just hang on, we will talk more about it. So if I want to find out what is the total for central, I would do this. I would write SUMIF, right? And then as you can see, the first argument is what is it that you want to sum. Sum range means what is the range that you want to sum, right? I want to sum up the units, so that's what I will give. The second is the criteria's range, means okay now, and then I'm going to say, right, for example, I said I want to look up what is the total number of units sold for region central. Now where I know the region central is what I'm looking, that is called our criterion 1, but where should I look for central? So in this data set, sum up the column E where the column B is central. Okay, column B, and I can say the word central here, okay, like this if I want, or since the word is written over here in this cell, I2, I can even pass that, and that will give me the same thing. So there are so many ways obviously to do a lot of things in Excel. So here you see the number, it shows me 1199, which is basically the sum of all the sales units sold in central, which I showed you here on the right hand side. If you look, that's what it is. So now for example, the good part about SUMIF is, now the SUMIF column, again let's review it. We say SUMIF, and we said let's review it one more time. Okay, SUMIFs. Again, what is it that you want to sum? The first argument is only one thing you can sum. You cannot sum obviously multiple columns, right? You would have to write multiple SUMIFs. But so now I want to sum the units. So I say that's my thing, and then put a comma, then it gets on to the second parameter, and then it's going to ask you, okay, that, and where do you want me to look up, and for which other column should be the criteria range, central, and what is the value that I want to look up. The value I want to look up is central. So give me the sum of the column E, where in column B the word is central. That's what it's saying, right? So you just do this and hit enter, you get it. That's all it is. Now the good thing is, because I said I2, if this ever changes to east, you will get the sum of region east, or if you change this to west, you get the sum for west. So that's as simple as it is. Another way, you cannot use VLOOKUP obviously, because VLOOKUP will not sum across multiple rows. VLOOKUP can only be used if you want to find out For example, it has to be like very specific, right? It has to be, you cannot sum across the thing. VLOOKUP is like in a case where you have unique identifiers. So for example, if we have central here, right, and let's drag this formula. You know how to drag the formula, you can just drag the formula, it should be that. So VLOOKUP is now if I want to find out what is the, for example, this is my data set, okay, region, you have two regions, and I want to again find out what was the amount for west. I would do VLOOKUP, the search key, right, and the range and the index. So that's what we do. So we want to look up this, you want to look it up in this range, okay, and then the index is referring to 1 2 like this, okay, and do you want it sorted or not? False, you would say false in that case, because we want an exact match. So this is how you do VLOOKUP. Now if in case there was one more west over here, for example, right, there was another west here for 450, right, but this VLOOKUP will never be able to, even if I increase the range over here of the lookup, it will not give me 450. If I want the sum of 231 plus 450, I really have to use SUMIF. So that is the difference between VLOOKUP and SUMIF. So for then I would do SUMIFs. Again, let's try SUMIFs. Okay, SUMIFs. What are we trying to sum? We are trying to sum across this range, the J2 to J4. So let's say we want to sum J2 to J4, and we want to check where the in the equivalent thing we have in the column I2 to I4, we have west as the value. That's the L4. Then give me, and that is the sum. As you can see, this gave me 681, but VLOOKUP will not give you the total sum. VLOOKUP will just look up like the one value that it can look up and tell you that, yeah, you know. So VLOOKUP is very useful in real life when you're comparing two columns, for example, right? I always have this, like a lot of data sets where I work on, where I need to compare, right? So I would have columns, I would have data in two sheets, for example, and you know, and I would have, like, this would be in two sheets, right? I don't know what is missing from one sheet versus the other sheet, right? We always have to do the comparison. So this is very useful. What I can do here to quickly check is VLOOKUP. I want to look up this value in this, okay, if it's there, and then return the value itself and make an exact match. So if you do this autofill, I use, as you can see on this side of the data set, I don't have central, so central is flagged, and that's another way to find out what values are missing from one sheet versus the other sheet. There's many tricks to Excel and a lot of useful uses to it. I'm going to be continuing to record a lot more videos and show you all the hacks of how you can use Excel and get job done very easily within a few clicks and few functions. So hope you enjoyed watching this. Continue watching my videos. Thanks.